Alex from Overhead, and my name is Brankita. How are you, Alex? How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. A bit cold up here and a bit dark up here, but other than that, it's to be expected.
Yes, yes. Okay, okay. And can you tell me about the new album? How do you feel about that?
Yeah, well, we've been making it for I think 4 years or 5 years, and when we started making it, there was no war, there was no pandemic. AI was just something you'd like, one day, sure, maybe. But while we were making it, all these things kind of started happening, and but that's what the album is about. These kind of themes and this kind of what's this current events, what's happening in the world and why it's happening and how like no, basically no one can change it. You just have to kind of ride through it a little bit now. Yeah, that's what it's about. And yeah, and the pandemic came, so we had to that slowed things down a bit. And we started making more and more material, and we noticed that it's not going to fit on a single CD, no matter how much we kind of compact it down. And so we figured we'd have to cut so much of it that maybe we just keep rolling and let it become a double CD and hope that it doesn't matter. But it's okay. It turned out great. We're pretty
Yes,
happy.
yes. And I just wanted to say something about it. I mean, because you said that it was during the pandemic and you wanted to reflect on those times and everything that impacted really lyrics, I guess, yes.
Yeah.
And many people, I had, recently some interviews, and many people actually told me that they created a lot of great things during the pandemic. So turns out it wasn't that bad after all, right?
Yeah, the pandemic is not so bad for art. They can be like, let's have another one.
Yeah, yeah. It's like,
We're
well,
ready this time.
yeah, people were closed, when there were those restrictions,
Yeah.
people couldn't go out and everything. So you just, maybe you get more inspiration, maybe more rage, and you pour it all into your art, right?
Yeah, a lot of inspiration and art making depends on some external force making you do it. Maybe it's like you have like school. You have
Exactly.
to be there, so
Yeah.
it makes you creative there. Or maybe like a pandemic. Not everything is cancelled. So what do? Just do the things that aren't cancelled.
Exactly, yes. That was kind of a positive aspect for the musicians.
Yeah, a
They
little
they
bit.
just,
Yeah,
yeah, like, okay, you are forced, as you say. Yeah, it is some kind of forcing when you are there. You
yeah,
have nothing else to do. Okay, let's do something. Let's work.
yeah.
But on the other hand, there are many negative aspects that influence so many bands. Financial problems, touring.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
Well, for us, that one, well, of course, we had a bunch of gigs cancelled, and we had already bought the flights, and there was no refund. But it's not the biggest thing, biggest problem in the world. I mean, a bigger problem was that our drummer was not allowed out for like at least half a year uh,
Oh.
because complicated reasons that we're not going to go into here. But that slowed down the album making process also. But on the other hand, it gave us more time to write more material, and that's how it turned into a double album. And yeah. So there's always like a silver lining.
Exactly, exactly. Yes, always something good and bad.
Yeah,
It's just a way of your balancing
yeah,
that, right? And what you make to be good out of all that.
yeah.
And
Circumstances are always circumstances, so you just
exactly,
do with it what you want.
exactly. Yes, yes. Our way of dealing with that. Yeah.
Yeah,
But turns out it was good, especially because of the album. Maybe if you had, let's say, less time, maybe it would be differently, right? I suppose.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, who can tell?
Yeah.
Who can tell? In another universe somewhere, there's a version of us that the pandemic didn't happen, and it's a single CD, and
Yeah,
and and so on. Yeah, for sure.
I understand definitely. And tell me more about the situation before joining the band, and what made you, decide to go in this direction?
Yeah, well, I joined the band in 1999,
Yeah.
so I was 19 at the time, so that was a long, long, long time ago, and this is our sixth album, and slowly we've been like progressing to this. We tried to move forward, but that doesn't work, and we tried to move backwards, and that doesn't work. We tried to switch genre sometimes, and well, that doesn't work, and we end up sounding a lot like ourselves. Just more and more each album, it sounds more and more like Overhead. Currently, it feels like uh, you can play 20 seconds of any of our song and uh, someone who like knows all the music in the world would go like, yeah, that's Overhead. It's pretty clear because
Yeah.
nothing else sounds exactly like it. But especially looking from like inside the band, which is not objectively, it feels like nothing comes actually very close at all because there's a special blend of some certain types of little bit of Pink Floyd here and a little bit of blah 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 over here, but mostly it sounds like it's really chilled out. It doesn't it doesn't blow your brain out or anything like that. It's really like it sounds like you already heard it before, but it doesn't sound like anything you've like with any other band. So it's a weird combination.
Yeah, I just wanted to add something to it. It's very interesting. Among your influences, you also mentioned, correct me if I'm wrong, in one of your previous interviews, Gentle Giant. Am I
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That well, I basically like Gentle Giant because
Yes.
I like the it's old music, so it's some old styles on it. But mostly I like that kind of the really really long melody progressions that then loop after like God over a minute of like do diddle do 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 diddle 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 do 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 do, and then so on, and then it starts again, and you go like oh, you get a little bit of a dopamine rush, and it's important to get a dopamine rush at least every minute.
Definitely, I can agree on that. Yes, yeah, it was interesting to me, to see that it influenced you. But as you said, when I compare, of course, yeah, you said also Pink Floyd. We cannot,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah, for
forget that.
sure.
But of course, as you said, it really doesn't sound like Pink Floyd. It doesn't sound like
Mm,
Gentle Giant. These are
yeah,
just
not
like,
really.
yeah, these were your inspirations, but not like, of course, copy paste. You have your
Yeah,
own sound and something unique.
yeah, yeah, and it's probably down to like internal artistic conflict, I'm
Yeah.
sure.
Yes, yes. I mean, it's hard. A lot of the good music is made, and and that's you just pick up something. It stays in your mind, right? But
Yeah,
you collect all of those things you listen to, especially if someone has an eclectic music taste, which is
mm,
great, uh,
yeah, yeah,
right? And then you just made something on your own with all
yeah.
that, right?
Which is weird because I have a crazy wide music taste, but
Same.
making music with Overhead is it's this small, the kind of the area that it fits in because somehow it just sounds only like itself. Uh,
Yeah.
we tried. I really tried to branch it out to make it like a little bit of reggae here, some like California cruising music here, and then like shouting metal over here, and then in the end it just everything just goes in here.
Yes.
It's hard to explain, but we just kind of let it happen. we used to fight it. We don't fight it anymore. We just let it happen.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. But the thing is, as you said, sometimes it's hard to overcome that barrier, right? You
Yeah,
want to create, so you have such a great inspiration, but you want to make something so special, but it's hard, right?
yeah,
It's
yeah.
yeah. Why do you think you feel that way? What makes that barrier so hard?
It's oh yeah. What makes that barrier so hard? It's like w- what you want to exist and what can exist and something in between that actually exists. And
Exactly.
you can't have like what you want. And the reality of like when you think of some concept and in your mind you think you have it nailed down and you know exactly what you want, but when you start making it, it's there's your
What if?
stupid human mind fills all the blanks. And when you start to actually make it, you have to fill in the blanks. And sometimes it's impossible. You have to like, oh well, it clearly it's just going to be whatever it is going to be, and you just either let it happen or you fight it. But we figured, just let it happen.
Yeah, usually, most likely, yes. For most of us, it's like that.
Yeah.
Yes. And what about those testing genres you mentioned? How did it go? How did it go? Can you tell me a bit more about it? Because I'm always interested when people are trying to experiment with something new. How did it go for
Yeah,
you?
well, yeah, we did combine them. Like there's passages in there with with like Don Henley from the Eagles kind of cruising on his with his Cadillac down some sunset strip in California, and just strumming his guitar ding, tick, 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 ding, doodle, doodle, and like that. We did it, and we're happy with it. But on the whole, it's and yeah, and all the other genres. There's a whole bunch of them on there, but yeah, we're happy with them, and we don't mind it being like melded together like that because it just seems to work. And yeah, it's it just let it happen.
Yes, I agree. I agree on that. And what was also very interesting for me when we are speaking about experimenting, I have a feeling that a lot of those things were happening back then, 60s, 70s. And
Mm.
I was very glad to see that you also mentioned one of those interviews, Sid Barrett. And
Yeah.
I was
Oh,
like, finally, someone who is like Sid Barrett is genius because I was thinking that that man was so underrated artist.
yeah, yeah.
Honestly,
It's.
yeah,
I mean, it's a sad story for
yeah,
sure. And
yeah, that's true.
being a like high level genius like that, it probably just makes you insane by default, maybe. But
Comes with a price, right?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
probably. I mean, he wasn't like clearly he wasn't faking it. He was like
exactly.
he was living it through and through, and then explaining it through his lyrics, and not like, "Ooh, I'm gonna make some really psychedelic sounding words together, and ooh, it's going to be fun." But no, that was like his experience, I think, and he was a master lyricist. And like mental associations and all these things, and he's like the first time you hear w- his mad rants on the Pink Floyd's first albums and his own album, it's like, whoa, whoa,
What happened
you
here?
that you're not supposed to say that or do that.
Yeah,
I mean, but
yeah.
it's children's songs, but there's like,
Yes, exactly.
and
Like they broke all the rules they could, and
yeah,
that's it. That's
yeah.
it. Like,
And I
yeah.
think the whole Pink Floyd project after Sid Barrett is just like after echo of like it's like his spirit kind of persisted within the group. I'm sure because that he kind of shone, he would shine his like radiation, and it would like hit all the other guys, and they'd be like, whoa. and we have to try to do that once he's gone, and they did, and it's kind of okay. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't hate Pink Floyd. I think Pink Floyd is okay, but with Sid Barrett, oh, that was the stuff.
Would you believe that I am constantly arguing with my friends and I tell them, listen, people, like Piper at the Gates of Dawn is that's it. For me,
Yeah,
that's it. The essence, pure essence of Pink Floyd, and that's it. I mean, of course, as you said, I respect the band. I like the band, but that's something that really I was thinking, wow, as you said, the songs are childish, like,
yeah,
but
yeah,
there is so much under the surface,
yeah,
and it's insane. Like, literally, it's like, how do I describe it? Like crazy psychedelic space opera. I don't
yeah.
know what to say, what words to use. So much to tell, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if he hadn't gone crazy, I don't know. It feels like he was like one of those like the late '60s was about counterculture revolution, the
Yes,
revolution from the inside and individuality and all this. He could have carried the whole thing by himself, like but no, he had to go crazy with the weight of it all, and well, yeah,
sadly. Yeah,
who
yeah.
knows what could have happened.
Yeah, I listened to his other albums as well. I mean, that's it. I mean, genius, pure genius, as you said.
Yeah,
And do you feel that he also influenced your music? And in
yeah.
which way? Which way?
Oh, I would try to like have an uh, open mind when making lyrics, like he does, and just not restrict myself necessarily to what I think can be done, but rather like if it goes like this, then it goes like this, and I mean, what would Sid Barrett do? He would just do it, kind of, and I uh, try to emulate that a bit, but it's impossible, of course. But yeah, I
Still
don't
is
know. It's
that?
just the kind of freedom of association and
Yeah,
expression.
yeah.
That's something I really like.
I think it messes, the fact that those things, those songs he did messes with your mind. It really like,
A little bit. Yeah, it
maybe it's
awakens the
right.
inner child that shouldn't be awakened. Because I mean, grown-ups will say that, oh, you have to be like find your own inner 6-year-old, but don't let your 6-year-old free, because that guy's a freaking fascist, crazy person. Like if grown-ups really acted like 6-year-olds, I mean, the people with white jackets would come and get you, and eventually they did with him.
Sadly, yeah, sadly, as
Yeah.
you said, sad story. I'm really, sad because of that. Of course, most of us, I guess. But I was just thinking those kind of things when you're listening, maybe it just strikes, a certain chord, and you'll be like, "That's it. That's I'm
Yeah.
gonna, just gonna use it my own way and put it in my work."
Yeah.
But right, that's what I
Yeah.
was thinking. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. It feels like he invented some genres, like little seeds of them, some genres that don't even exist, never existed.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, yeah.
Go
And
figure.
exactly. And tell me, you have performed a lot, and what performance would be your favorite so far?
Ah, the
Serious
the one
one.
the one in
Yeah.
the Versailles Palace next to Paris, where the Sun King used to live, Louis XIV or whatever, and we would look as the curtains would open, and before the curtains opened, they put some weird like chemical stuff and lit it, and they would like they blow it into the audience, and it's
Yes.
just this weird old style theater smell. And I was like, oh, that's how it's done. Wow. But the curtains open, and then at first, of course, I'd go like, Your Majesty, towards the king had his own like place up here, and like that, and then uh, n- dear poor people or whatever, plebs.
Oh, that sounds interesting. Yes.
Oh yeah, yeah. It was a lot of fun. That was like one of the coolest venues so far, and that was I think 2008 or so, so long time ago.
But
But
still
yeah,
in your memory, like it was yesterday. Like, yeah, probably was
yeah,
perfect. Yeah.
yeah, and we like hung out in the Royal Garden backstage, and there was this another band also playing at the same night on the venue, and they were from the States, and they had left like a tower of money in their backstage, and I'd go there. Oh, someone left a whole bunch of money. Oh, that's mine now. But
Okay, that was fun.
later, I learned that oh yeah, they're American, so they were tipping the like the roadies and the cleaners, and like damn it. Learn something new every day.
That was interesting. Seriously funny.
Yeah,
And
man.
tell me, can you make a comparison? If you speak about the latest album and your previous, how would you? I mean, starting from the first one to the newest.
Ooh, starting from the first one. Well, the first one was like it was a different millennium altogether when we
Exactly. Yeah.
started making that one.
No
And
COVID. No
yeah, no
COVID.
COVID. I mean, the
Yeah.
big bank crash didn't happen. Uh, there were no set. I mean, we had Nokia, so we basically had cell phones and text messages, but that was it. And yeah, we recorded it slowly and methodically, and I had barely gotten out of my teenage years, so my voice was a little bit different. And but by the second album, things made a lot more sense already, and then that second album was the one that I think, or the third album, I forget, was the one that opened the doors for us to tour a little bit more, and then things went forward, and then one album of Sun and Moon. It's a kind of a black colored album with 3D graphics on it that are hand drawn, but they're 3D if you put your glasses on. Uh, that was more machine enhanced, clearly. But after that, we kind of uh, well, actually, the synth player left after that, and we got a kind of new one, and we started making the albums by ourselves. I mean, we became our own record company basically. Before that, we had first an Italian record company, then a French record company, and then a German record company, and then, well, it's 2000, or what is it, 17 or so, and it makes sense to be our own record company because we're already recording it ourselves and producing it ourselves, and uh, all the tours are done by ourselves, and all the album artwork is done by ourselves, and so it's all us. So why not do the whole record company thing? And it's not rocket science. So we started doing that, and we released Hayden's Park after a long pause, and then COVID happens pretty much. All the gigs that had been like well, we managed to get a few gigs before COVID happened, but then COVID did happen, and we're like, oh well, let's just start making the next album again, reset the clock, and start making material. And it's actually not that different from our previous album, this newest album, in a way. It's made in the same way. It's roughly the same people. I mean, we're missing. Well, the bass player changed, and that's a big difference. So actually, yeah. But yeah, the way of making it didn't change much. We just grew up a little bit as people and human, and we stopped trying to fight it, and more of the kind of let it happen philosophy. And yeah, yeah. And yeah, it's pretty clear it's our best materials yet so far.
I
And
enjoyed the first one, I must say, because I
oh
was listening. Yeah, I was listening, more than just this one, and I enjoyed it. It was, I must say, I mean, I get so emotional with that flute combination, and
yeah,
with certain transitions. And I even, when someone touches me, yeah, I even start crying. I get so emotional, just like you're not sad, it just touches you that much,
yeah,
and I'm just like, you know.
y- yeah. Nice. Sometimes it can do that. No, that's nice. It is. It's there is some beauty in it, but
Yeah,
I've spoiled it for myself. I can't listen to it myself because I'm like right there in the middle, being all 19 years old. So
yeah, yeah.
it's not for myself to enjoy. But we are planning to play the really long song Zumantum from that album live now after like 10 years of not doing that at all. But we've been actually rehearsing that. So yeah, that's going to be in the set probably.
Oh, yeah. I think, yeah, people will be happy. I suppose definitely,
Yeah,
definitely.
after 20-ish years, it's a good live song actually. It makes sense more live than it does on the album. I've said to all the guys, do not listen to it on the album. Like, do not. We have to make a new version of it and like completely, not completely change it, but like just reiterate it in like with everything that has happened in the last 20 years or so.
Yes, yes.
God, I feel so old.
But no, still, don't. No, 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 no. You are not old. You're not old. Don't be like. You're young if you say yourself you're young. So
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
it's all about
Yeah.
that spirit.
I know many people my age that are way older than me.
Yeah, that's true. That's basically, it's like that. Everything comes with the mind and the
Yeah,
way
yeah, it
you feel
does.
about it.
Yeah,
I mean,
it controls all the physical and mental things.
I,
So yeah, and that's all there is.
like I know old people who are like in their 80s or something. They are so quick. I cannot
Yeah,
even catch them on the street. Like it would be a chase, I must say. You
yeah,
know?
yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. There's many 40-year-olds that are like, oh, they should just quit already.
Yes.
But
And can you
they just need a lot of rest and like
yeah.
mind, well, psychology practice, I guess.
Yeah, but I think we all need some rest, to, yeah, just to reset ourselves and, okay, I'm getting too busy. Let's get some rest and
Yeah,
maybe mine will start working better, I feel, you know.
yeah, yeah. It's almost always it's a good time for just a quick restart and just like reset and
Exactly.
like go like, okay. Now I know what I'm doing.
That's
It's
it.
called sleep.
And some caffeine,
Yeah,
probably. I mean,
yeah,
nothing without it, I guess.
yeah. I tried quitting caffeine. It hurts my head, but after a few days, it was all good. And then when I start using caffeine again, ooh, I'm like Superman. I can do anything.
That's it. I switched to black and green tea, actually. Works for
Mm,
me, and it's healthier, and not and it even has some kind of detox.
yeah, it
Uh,
does. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, some kind of
yeah. You can never have too much green tea
yeah,
for
yeah.
sure. I take green tea capsules.
Not bad, not bad. But they were just like, okay, let's pick something more healthy than coffee, but also it
Mhm.
has caffeine, so it works.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
And can you describe the process that drives you to make something significant, such as creating artwork or composing a new song? What is it behind the process? How do you do it?
Well, it has to be a few things. Like one, it has to. In the end, it has to be fun enough to do that you can like work your way through it because there's a whole bunch of I should just quit. This isn't what I want to do with
I'm
my
done.
life. I want to go
Okay.
home and sleep and not like like uh, try to like artistically meld many people's ideas together with force or cunning, and and or make 2 albums worth of lyrics that make sense in today's world. Like it's not painless, so it has to be fun enough to be able to endure it. And well, there's like a uh, uh, some internal drive to uh, I guess it comes down to some weird human basic instinct, like need to be seen, I guess, or
Yeah,
something
there's
like
a
that.
bit of that
But
probably.
I definitely I don't have lead singer's disease. I've learned that by now. So there's no narcissism, because that's one great big driver for many lead singers. They like want to be in the middle and they want to be worshipped. That, like, to be honest, that's one like big factor of lead singer disease, which apparently I don't have, which is sometimes a problem because someone has to be like the kind of the main Nazi in the band, because otherwise, why does a band exist? I mean, it makes no sense. No one's getting any money for it.
Yeah.
Why would you go to some place to like make some art, which is always a compromise? Why? It's it has to be fun enough, and you have to have some internal drive to do it. And
That's
yeah, I guess my kind of main reason, because I don't have lead singer's disease, is to I want to, like, if I was digging holes, I want to make the biggest hole I can so that it's there even after 1,000 years. I guess
yes.
that's it. So it's basically the human basic instinct, the kind of need to be seen.
Yes, yes, I understand what
I
you
think
mean. Yeah.
that's it.
I also think some kind of difficult situations, not only COVID, but for example, when people get sick, or also when they're dealing with some breakdown, with some trauma, stuff like that.
Yeah.
It also helped them, create the most beautiful songs you have ever
Yeah.
heard,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And there's like one other kind of thing is like this stuff just keeps bubbling up, and
Exactly. Yeah.
unless it gets made, it'll just keep keep like rewinding and looping through in your head, unless you kind of put it out, and then like, oh, thank God,
Yeah.
someone else can hear it, and not just like I'm not crazy.
Yeah, just pour all the pain. I feel like the pain is such a great catalyst,
Yeah,
inspiration. I mean, ironically, but there is that. You can reflect it on your music. You can write a poem. You can create such a beautiful melody. How does it work for you? For example, when there
yeah.
is some kind of
Well,
situation. Yeah.
yeah, there is some like cathartic. You have to like shout it out, kind of thing, and
Yeah.
I mean, some people uh, uh, shout really a lot when they're driving, just to kind of like calm them down and make like, okay, okay, I'm going to survive another day. But yeah, some people make art. It's basically probably the same kind of thing. Yeah, yeah.
True. Yes. And
I do get really cranky if I can't go to the uh if there's no band practice for 1 week, 2 weeks.
you get angry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not good.
Yeah. Well, that's natural. That's natural. It's like a family. It's like basically, I feel like you are a family, right?
Yeah,
You have that kind of vibe, and it's like a natural process. Like people are having lunch and everything. Like,
yeah,
you get used to it, like basically,
yeah.
right?
Playing in a band prepares you for actual family life. Well, it
I bet.
prepares you
Yeah.
for startup life also, but mostly the family life is the big challenge. Like in a middle-aged man's life. So yeah, there's that.
Okay. And tell me, I wanted to mention again your new album. And I noticed that the sound is rich with many different elements which are perfectly blended. And what does the process of modeling sound look like? How does it?
Mm, well, that's another kind of a thing of letting it happen, because our guitar player kind of starts. He puts the first spark of like the first little riff, and then as a band we kind of carry it forward, and then we record it, kind of a demo version of it. And when I say we record, it's the guitarist that records it, and he's also mixing it, because he
Exactly.
has apparently infinite time to do this kind of thing, and not everyone does, you know. But yeah, after that, we kind of do one whole round of making the song and trying to make it better, and always calculating like how many percent does this get better per hour by going down this road or this road. And once we see that factor going down, then we're like, oh, it's ready for a new round. And then as a band, we kind of process it, and and then we make an start over. And again, we start with like the drums first, and all this and all that, and then after a few years of like doing all this, and all the guys are like, when are we going to go back to band practice mode, guys? Is Alex still singing? I'm like, yes, I am. I'm sorry. But I'm still singing. I'm still singing. I'm making it perfect. It doesn't have to be that perfect, you know? Well, it kind of does.
I feel you definitely because I want everything to be so perfect, and I
Yeah.
get really mad and sad when it isn't. Why it can
Yeah.
be? Why it isn't? You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like perfect enough at least. Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like everyone's compromised a lot to make it perfect enough, but that's already a little bit like a little bit crazy how much time it takes. But yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, and in the end, like this is where we are. We actually have to start the next round already for the next album, but we're like, oh, let's just let's
Let's
just breathe a little bit
chill.
first.
Let's chill and meditate
Yeah,
eventually,
a
right?
little bit. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And tell me about the atmosphere you created on the album. And you combined a lot of bluesy, jazzy, prog metal kind of elements and many others.
Hmm.
And can you pick the songs that you consider the most emotional? And tell me if there is some kind of cathartic effect. What is behind it?
Yeah. Well, I think the kind of personally, I like Tuesday That Never Came, because it kind of like puts it all together. Like it reminds me of Ulver a little bit. Like if you know the kind of Norwegian Ulver band, because it's it's like uh what's the word? It's foreboding. It's like the storm is coming, but the song itself is just it's just like a little bit of acoustic guitar and singing, like like um like a little bit Anathema, and what's that other band? Oh, I forget all the band's names, but there's something like some heaviness behind it that's not apparent. So that's like the song I most like. But weirdly enough, it's only 3 minutes, and there's not much progressiveness happening
Oh,
there.
okay.
So it's not everyone's favorite. But then there's the other song, "War to End All Wars," which was like a second single, because it's most usable as a single, I guess, because of like time constraints and all that. But yeah, that kind of says it all, really. I mean, it's just uh, it has the most catharsis in it, I think, and it's all like it's all like opening opening up, and it has all the angel choirs and everything, and the other songs are uh, more like they've got their own kind of thing happening, and they're about their own themes, and like what's this other one that I like? I think I like Telepathic Minds has so much happening in it that my favorite part is called Back in Time inside that song, because it just there's the regret of not being there in 1967 in San Francisco, and the kind of feeling that it probably wasn't as cool as people thought it was.
Okay, okay.
That kind
And
of stuff.
tell me, we just wanted to ask some question. How hard is it to do everything by yourselves? And how does your working day look like? I mean, I know, as far as I know, you did everything basically by
Yeah,
yourself. That and
down
you
to
know,
all the graphics, all the audio, even
yeah,
like buying freaking Facebook ads.
yeah. That's
So
impressive
all the
and
way
that's
down.
hard. Yeah, and how? I mean, how hard was it for you? How do you find some time to, to just chill and, just do something casual, binge some Netflix TV shows or whatever? How do you manage to balance all the work and, and to stay chill? And like, okay, I'm just gonna,
Yeah.
chill a
Well,
bit.
that's like a uh, how do you manage family life without divorce?
Well, yeah.
Like, well, it's complicated.
How do you deal with all that stress and everything? I mean, can you just tell me, for example, how does your day in the studio look like?
Yeah, the day in the studio. Well, normally I'd kind of get there at 11-ish, and then then I just start singing like crazy, or start like writing lyrics down and like, no, 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 that's shit, no, 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 no.
Exactly, yeah.
And then like at roughly 10 in the evening, I'm like, oh, I can't do it anymore. My head hurts. And then I'd get on my winter overalls and put on my full helmet, and then I'd start cycling the 20 kilometers home.
Oh my God, yes. But it kind of turns out maybe it's a chill ride after all. It kind of leaves space for venting, I guess, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's nothing quite like going like because I have an electric bicycle that I built myself, and when
Wow.
there's like this much snow or this much snow, actually, to be honest, this much is like the maximum that I want to be cycling in because it's like
Oh.
it's too much. Then I'd like fall down sometimes, like, oh, it doesn't matter because it's so soft.
I
And
guess,
then
yeah.
but once I get home, like, oh yeah, oh,
That's it.
that's good, good stuff.
Yeah.
I've earned a lot of sleep.
Nice, nice. Okay, so tell me, I wanted to ask something else about the artwork. I was really impressed. You did all the artwork by yourself,
Yeah,
everything,
yeah.
every
I'm
album,
super
everything,
happy
right?
with it. Yeah, and the
Yeah,
music videos, I like
yeah.
recording themselves, and the new one, War to End All Wars. I learned like this AI video making code stuff. I mean, it's Python, and it's on Google, gigantic Google servers somewhere, and I had to like pay for every minute that I'm using it, and it is like on right on the edge of what's possible. And even now, everything I learned making that music video is obsolete. It's just useless now. They've got all the new things now already, like 1 month later.
I
So
mean,
it's
yeah.
going pretty fast.
What about the inspiration for the artwork, especially on the new album? I did notice some. If I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe just this sort of an influence. You probably like Geiger. Am I right
Yeah,
or no?
H.R. Geiger a lot. Yeah, yeah, and
Yeah.
that
That's,
there's Enki Bilal. That kind of I think it's French, or is it even Serbian? It could be, because there's uh there's a lot of post-Soviet style in it, in his kind of artwork that he does, and it's like set in the 80s in Paris, I think, London, that kind of area, and it's all bleak, and everyone's like all the time like this, and there's like all this. Yeah, yeah. But I used his style a little bit there, and yeah, yeah,
Amazing.
yeah. And
Amazing.
I love this new AI art revolution that's happening because finally it's so much like the percentage of how much comes from here just went up a lot. And instead of like what can you draw, and how good are you at like photoshopping and making like graphics, and I mean, I'm pretty okay at making that, but even given that, it's always like what can you imagine, and then like make it exist.
Yes.
And so yeah, yeah, I love it. Now it's everything is more visual now. There's like a whole visual world for every song. I mean, there's a graphic for every song now
I think you
in
made
this
it
album.
perfectly. I mean, since it's perfect choice for the album, definitely, definitely. And sadly, I mean, I like art and everything, but I was never good at it.
Yeah,
Honestly, I just want to draw something, but I feel like I don't stand a chance, even if I take classes. Sadly, that's my biggest regret. Like, why
yeah,
I'm not born to do this? You
yeah.
know?
Why can't you already do it? It's like
Yeah.
you want to do it, and then you have to like, well, invest 10 years of hard labor, and then maybe you can like give it a shot. But nope, that's like that's all gone now. It's all like
Sadly, yeah.
AI stuff. You have to whisper to it like in the right way and make it like you have to gaslight the AI to make it do
Yeah.
what you want.
Yeah, right. Tell me about certain bands. I just wanted to know because I like those bands and I wanted to, to hear your opinion on them. Tell me about Tool. What are your
Tool.
thoughts on them? Yes.
I love Tool. Tool is really cool, but it's just a little bit um tech metal, I guess, is a okay term.
Yeah,
I'm really bad at metal terms,
yeah, don't worry.
but
Tech, progressive.
but
Yeah,
I love the like crazy intervals and the kind of like the kind of atmospheric style. But yeah, yeah, Tool is cool. Tool's cool.
I saw them last year in Budapest, and you wouldn't believe me what kind of concert it was.
Oh,
It was
I'm
memorable.
sure I won't believe you
It,
because
I
they've really gone
crying.
far and beyond.
Yeah, they're really great artists and they have so great visuals and the
Yeah,
sound was just amazing. Like the performance, everything. It was just like unreal like
right.
experience. I was crying most of the time and people be like,
Wow.
"Are you depressed? Just leave me." I was just so happy, epic, epic. I would recommend you to see them. Yes.
Damn, I must. I think we've got our bass player is a big Tool fan. And
Yeah.
he's like he's probably I think he's seen them a lot. I mean, currently he's more into Ghost, but he's
Yeah,
always into
everyone
pop
is
music.
into Ghost. I
I
mean,
know.
I respect the band, but it's just not something I enjoy listening to. But a lot of people I know are into them. Like they
It's like,
became,
I mean, Finland
yeah,
has Lordi, so
yeah.
Sweden has Ghost.
Oh, speaking of Sweden, you know what? There is that band. I think you would find it interesting. Gaupa, Gaupa. Yes, yes.
Nope.
Yes, Swedish band. They're also you will hear. I hope you will like it. I think it will also help you get some kind of inspiration for the future projects. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
that girl who is singing has some insane vocal changes, and they're kind of they have a bit of a lot of things are happening in their songs. Little bit of doom, stoner, blues, jazz. I don't know even how to describe psychedelic
Oh yes,
something.
psychedelic doom, stoner metal rock. Internet tells me. So
Trust
yeah,
it. Yeah, yeah. When
sounds
you
like a
hear
good combination.
yeah, when you hear a lot of genres in something, you think, you suddenly get that impression, oh my God, how does it sound like? But actually, people know what they're doing, just like your band. You know how to blend things perfectly. And
Yeah,
that's,
it's just a
you know,
question of just do it, and then
yeah,
it'll work out or it won't work out. But
yeah. But yeah, the bands I pick mostly like
mm,
they're masters of what they are doing. because occasionally it can happen, probably for some bands in the beginning, they want to experiment with the sound, and it's hard for them to combine that, without being experienced. They don't know, oh, what should I do with this? And sometimes they overdo it, right?
Yeah, or
I,
way underdo it. But it's like it has to just, yeah. Well, it can't even be explained properly. It has to be like done and heard. We that's one thing we learned. We have to like in band practice, and when we're like making the music, we have to like at a point which comes earlier and earlier every year, we have to just stop talking and just play more.
yeah, yeah. I encourage every kind of experimenting with the sounds. Like
Yeah.
sometimes you just get, on the rehearsal and you'll be like, okay, you just, just strike the drums, do something, throw the can out there, break the glass. Okay,
Yeah.
why didn't we start recording and,
Yeah.
just see
Yeah.
what happens with that?
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's crazy. And also mentioned one band, Love. It's
Love.
a
Yeah.
band from 60s, right? And what
Yeah.
are your thoughts on music back then and now? Do you feel like the music has been developed, now, or you think, what are you thinking about that? Like when you're comparing all those periods, 60s, 70s, 80s,
Mm,
90s, do you think that the music is progressing generally, or how? What are your thoughts on that?
yeah. I think it is progressing. I mean, it's just a reflection of humanity, really.
Yeah.
But I mean, the world is changing and the music is changing. So it's mostly progression, but there's always a bit of like one step forward, two steps back happening.
Oh.
But but yeah, I mean, like this, like that band, Love, and it's got everything basically. I mean,
Yeah.
it sounds a bit hokey and a little bit. I wish someone would kind of redo it and make it sound like much cooler, not just remastered, just like remade completely.
Yeah.
But no one's doing that. So so you have to listen to the originals and just kind of imagine what it would have sounded like back then, or
Yeah.
like or like Oliver, because that's one band that I really like secretly love a lot, and I like kind of loop their albums a lot, and no, like the 2000-ish era albums, not too new, so they're not too like electronica, and not too old, so they're not too black metal. So that's like sweet spot for me, and that kind of music could not have happened any sooner, or
Yeah.
didn't happen much any later. I mean, someone probably doing a lot similar stuff right now, but yeah, and what's happening right now with music? Well, there's a lot less money, so that's good for the art. It's bad for the business, but the art for the art it's much better. I mean, you can like mainstream is basically poof, just where is it and what is it? Where does this mainstream happen? It happens like on the Super Bowl commercial, I guess. So what?
Yeah.
Mainstream is like five artists? Huh? Who buys their albums? No one. Uh, Who cares what they do? Just tabloid magazine journalists. It's not like that. That's not that part hasn't progressed since like the freaking 60s, 70s, 80s. It kind of broke down once uh, music freed itself from the physical representation. Of course, I don't own many CDs at all. I don't have a CD player, and I own a few vinyls, but I don't have a vinyl player. So I'd rather own the vinyls than the CDs, given the choice, because they're like, when I hold this vinyl in my hand, I know that like future alien architects, archaeologists will be able to decipher the music from it. But from the CD, probably not so much.
Yeah, I feel like it also became hard. There are so many new bands, good bands. You know what?
Yeah,
Really good bands,
yeah,
but they just don't deserve enough. They don't, sorry, don't get enough attention, I feel.
Yeah.
And I feel it just happened because of probably appearance of social media, and also
Yeah.
in smartphones in the first place. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think.
I mean,
Yeah.
to really break through now, you have to do a lot of TikTok dancing, and
Yeah,
we're just not going to do it.
yeah, it's just
We
like.
don't want to.
Yeah, it's like basically like mostly, it's hard to find, to this, for me, for example, I want to, because I created my own YouTube channel, and
Mm,
I was thinking to bring some artists who definitely deserve more attention, to some of my favorites, to interview them on my channel.
yeah.
But it's hard, because there are a lot of people, and they are, I don't know, they are probably, in, I don't know, nuclear blast and everything, and it's hard to
Yeah.
contact people. You know what? It became
Yeah.
so huge. Earlier, it wasn't like that.
Hmm. Right. Yeah. But yeah, everything's exploded to little pieces here and there, and there's just more of everything. But
Exactly.
it won't take long. In a few short years, you'll just kind of click play on Spotify, and it'll give you the music that you want to hear. That's like perfect. This is the music you've been looking for all your life. Finally, it's here. Who made it? Oh, no one. It's made by the machine. And who else likes this music? No one has ever heard it before. It was custom made for you. And like,
Yeah.
what do you do then? But that's like coming in like a few short years. We'll all find out.
Yeah, that's why I feel like that period, 60s, 70s, 80s, I wish I will, I was just visiting all those festivals and just being chill instead of being stressed all day. Just wish
Well,
that, they invented that, time back machine. Like, it's
yeah,
impossible. They invented all the things and not time back machine. Something's not right here.
yeah. Because like, where would you go back to? I'd like to see the mud heaps of Woodstock, and just
Yeah.
to make sure that it was just a shit show and not worthy of the nostalgia. But I mean, maybe it was worth it. But I'd like to go there and just check it out. It would be
Yeah.
cool. I mean, like hippies, were they like cool, or were they just misguided teenagers?
Yeah, but
Who can
I
tell?
kind of felt they were much better than we are now, because whatever happened back then, but people were more friendly, more up to,
No,
just
yeah,
feeling
the
and
kind of
music.
love generation. Yeah, for sure
Yeah,
there was like more
yeah,
of that. But yeah, I'm a cynical 40-year-old, and I think nowadays that they were just begging for someone like people to come and take advantage of them. And by the time that happened, it was the 70s, and oh, that's why things kind of happened the way they happened in the 70s. Like the whole hippie thing, it just imploded into narcissists would come in and like take their like uh, 10 hippies for you, 10 hippies for me, follow me, I'm like I know the truth.
yeah.
Like
Today is just sad that people became so alienated and stuck in their phones. I mean, even myself, like a lot of us. And it's kind of,
yeah,
it's just waste of time. It's just like, creates more stress and everything, right?
yeah,
And
yeah. Right now the kind of time we live in is like that. People are isolated into units of one, and that's how you can kind of I guess humanity kind of does it to himself itself, because it's there's no big conspiracy of like they are out to get you, because humanity kind of wants to be misled and made more paranoid of each other, and like just grab me, and people there's the kind of dark side of humanity that is being fed right now. And this is just the kind of era when people want to choose sides. They want to shut down the world if there's a flu, and then they want like strong leaders, and they want this and that, and uh, they want to bring down the banks. And apparently, that's going to happen soon, and they want to do this and that, and they want to kind of. It's crisis. They want the crisis. They want to live the crisis. Crisis is like their uh, the feeling that they want. They want the feeling of crisis, but that's only going to last a few more years, and after that, we get the nice and love because like the it's like the 1940s now.
Yeah, but how
On many different levels, apparently. I mean, even like when you look at like inflation graphs, it's the 1940s. If you look at
yeah.
like demographics, it's the 1940s. War stuff, it's the 1940s.
And I feel like there is no more healthy discussion on social media. Like you
No,
have
yeah,
to be
that's
this
gone.
or that, like
Yeah,
black and white, no gray
yeah,
space no more, you know?
yeah.
It's
And
kind of
if you
that,
just say
right?
a little hint in this direction, that
Yeah,
ooh, I think maybe, and then say something about some things that will make you demonetized on YouTube, just ever
yeah,
so slightly, then people know exactly every other thought that you have because you're in that camp, and that's the
yeah,
wrong camp
yeah.
for them. So you get sanctioned like that.
Yeah, I have a feeling that's not like some people get sanctioned over silly things, while
Yes.
the other people who abuse and do whatever they want, they just stay where they are continuing to do so. And it's some kind of unhealthy environment. But
Yeah.
how do you deal with all that? And when, with the stress, how do you find the peace and relaxation?
Oh, I look forward 5 years. Because yeah,
That's,
like in the 90s, everyone was supposed to have their own opinion of
yeah,
everything, because that was like the cool thing to do. You'd like be contrarian of everything, maybe, but in any case, have your own opinion, and not like right now where there's like two opinions for everything. There's only two sides. I'm just like, oh God, I can't can't be on either one of these sides, man. So
yeah.
I'm just
Like,
not. I'm looking forward to 5 years from now when we know which side wins.
That's interesting. Okay, and tell me about the plans for the future tour. Do you have any plans in mind?
Yeah, well, there's some. We're going to Germany in next month. Roughly a month. Just for one gig at Art Rock, and we've got one gig in Poland in what's it, early July. But other than that, kind of looking forward to the album being actually released end of this month, and then because
31st.
they're starting to book next year right now currently, so they should start calling us roundabout like in the next few weeks to ask like, guys, are you open for whatever? And we're like, yep, yep, we are.
Cool,
So that's the plan.
cool plan. And okay, one more question for the end. If you get a chance to create something crazy, like any kind of thing, it can be whatever. Like it doesn't have to be related to music only, but okay, it can be music. I can mention some moments of Mike from Faith No More. He had some side projects, and I was like,
Hmm. Oh,
okay, this
Mr.
can
Bungle. I love Mr. Bungle. Yes.
insanely good. I was like, oh my god. So if you have a chance to create something like that, or even bit more crazy, like it doesn't have to be only related to it, art, whatever, book, whatever, comic book. I mean, what would you secretly want to do? Like, to it was a hard one.
Ooh,
Hard
it was
one,
a
right?
hard one. Yeah. Probably like find some very obscure West African early 90s um Makossa music, like that kind of ding, 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 that kind of stuff, and then word for word translate it into Finnish, and not translate it, just because I don't understand the language. So, but it sounds like they're saying some words that I can recognize. So I'll just use those words, and then just put a whole bunch of AI on top of it, and feed it back to West Africa, and
Oh.
kind of gaslight them into like being like, "Do you remember this song? Where were you when this song was cool?" And they'll be like, "Oh, maybe I do remember it." How's that?
Oh, okay, that was a crazy idea. Okay,
Actually,
well,
that's a project that I might be working on one day soon. So that was
really?
off the shelf. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay, okay, interesting,
But just
interesting. I
like,
did.
don't tell anybody.
I mean, okay, I will be silenced. Yeah, interesting. I must say, I haven't expected that one. Yeah,
Mm.
that's fun. That was cool. Seriously, is there for the end some kind of message for your fans or other people how to overcome the crisis, upcoming crisis, or anything you would like to, to say?
Yeah, well, just if you're self-medicating, keep self-medicating. If you're not, just dabble a little bit. Google is your friend, and you can lower your inflammation easily. Just follow a few easy steps, and uh, don't keep if you have a lot of money, don't keep it all in one bank. And like maybe put 1% into crypto, just in case it all goes. And
Or maybe shut down
yeah,
your
yeah,
bank
don't get
account.
it. Hmm?
Shut down the bank account, keep that cash, and that's it.
Yep, yeah. Gold isn't too bad even, and
Yeah.
if you're listening to this way out in the east, you know where you are. Just try not to get drafted. It's not good. And like for the rest of you guys, stop. Just get off your backside and do something. It's time.
It's time. We are already in 40s.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
It's not. It's still not too late. You can like be a person of substance.
Yeah, like for example, me, I started with growling classes and screaming, and turns
Mm.
out it even goes better than practicing clean singing for me. Trust me,
Ooh.
ironically, but that's the truth.
Yeah, and funnily enough, it does not destroy your vocal cords.
Not for now. I'm
For
still
now,
being
anyway. Yeah,
careful.
yeah, yeah. I mean, even normal, and any more than normal singing. I'll say that.
Yeah, 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 definitely. We just have to, keep it, we should just pour the liquid occasionally. I didn't
Yep.
say what kind of
You,
liquid. It can be whiskey.
yeah,
What do we
whichever
know?
works for you.
Yeah.
Always lubricate.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
So that was very fun, I must say, and I'm really glad to have you today. I enjoyed this interview. I hope you did too.
No, yeah, this is fun. This is fun.
Yes, I hope our viewers will enjoy too, but at least we did, so we
Yeah,
will see.
it should like carry over. Just
Yeah,
I hope your next video is a nice one.
I really
Whoever is
hope.
watching this,
Yes, thank you so
subscribe and
much.
like and click on the bell icon. I watch a lot of YouTube.
Me too. Yeah, and I hope you will have the great, rest of the evening and hope to see you again. Yeah,
Yeah, I so hope so.
thank you so much. Thank you. Bye
Bye
bye.
bye. Live long and
Bye.
prosper, everyone.
Bye bye.